We're going to recap Bulls Magic and Bucks Spurs. Also, new editions of Cage Talk, The Thinking Chair, and True or False. That's all right now on Yackin Wit Yoni. Let's kick things off today by talking about what happened last night, and that's recapping the NBA action. First, the Bulls in Orlando to take on the Magic, and the Bulls win that one of a final of 96-94. They played very well in this one. Let's take a look at the bullet points. First one, no problem. They played very well in this. They really dominated without having Yackin Wit in there. He was out with flu-like symptoms, so they were able to stop and play exceptionally well, and I think that's what they were able to do. Taj Gibson really stepped up. Carlos Boozer, we're going to talk about him in a second. The big guys needed to step up for Yackin Wit, who wasn't in the game, and they did an unbelievable job. Second one, good bounces. It seems like the Nets, or the rims at Amway Center, were helping both the Bulls and the Bulls and the Magic. The balls was bouncing right off there. They were going in, so they were getting good bounces and getting right in there. And finally, take a trip on the booze cruise. Kind of quoting analyst Stacey King on the Bulls broadcast. He had an unbelievable game, and he's had his struggles with the Chicago Bulls. But last night, when the Bulls really needed him to step up and get the job done, that's exactly what he did. He was able to throw it down, take some nice shots, and that's the leader he needed to be. Last night with Yackin Wit out, great job by Carlos Boozer, and a great win last night by the Bulls. And again, they win at 96-94. Now let's go over to the Spurs and the Spurs and the Bucks last night, and it was a 110-107 game, or 110. I'm not 100% sure on the official final. I don't have it in front of me. I apologize, but they do win 110, I believe either 105 or 107. And let's go to the bullet points. First one, work of art. Watching them three guys, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, and Tim Duncan be able to work together, it's like watching a work of art. They're unbelievable. I've never been a big fan of the San Antonio Spurs, but getting a chance to watch their whole game with them in it, they're just unbelievable, impressive to watch. They blew me away at how talented they really are. They do this in the regular season, but it comes in the playoffs is when they absolutely struggle, which hurts. Second one, booing for Steven Jackson. I didn't follow the Bucks. I mean, I've really never had to follow the Bucks permanently like I do now. But when he was a Milwaukee Buck, apparently they booed him last night when he made his return. Apparently, according to, it looked like John McLaughlin in the broadcast last night, that apparently he didn't try or something. So I don't really know the full insight, and they really didn't talk about it. But it sounds like he really didn't try as a Milwaukee Buck. Didn't really play his hardest. Maybe that's why, but a lot of booing for him, and it got to his head. He missed a lot of shots last night. And the final, Jennings' big night falls short. The Bucks were very close to tying that game, getting back in. They got back in it. They were losing by over 20. To come back to only lose by as many as they did was a great job by Brandon Jennings, putting the team on his back, but again, they could not get the win. So, tough break for him, but nonetheless, Jennings did a big night of over 30 points. So, Bulls win 96-94. Spurs beat the Bucks last night, 110 to either 105, 106, or 104, 105, something like that. And we will talk about the scores on the bottom of your screen. So, okay, that is recapping last night's NBA action. Check out the official website of Yackin Wit Yoni, where you can view promo flyers, Katie's blog, Yackin merchandise, and much more. Go to yackinwit.weebly.com. Now it's time for the newest edition of True or False, where I give you statements, and I will tell you if they are true ones or if they're false ones. Today they're concerning NFL playoffs. First one, Packers have a tough road to New Orleans. True. I was saying this when I saw the schedule. They first have to play Minnesota, then with a win to there, they have to go to San Francisco, and then they have to go possibly to Atlanta. So their chances of the only way, if Atlanta gets eliminated, they'd have that final game at Lambeau. I think it would be a tough road. But when you look at it overall, I think it will be a tough road for the Green Bay Packers. They've been able to do it before. Look what they did as the 6th seed. They won the Super Bowl. So, I mean, they do have the opportunity. They do have the team to do it. They're getting their team fully healthy back. So I think they do have a chance of that. But is it a tough road for them? Yes. being that they don't have a first-round bye. Second one, Broncos are favorite to win the Super Bowl. I'm going to say true. The way Peyton Manning's been able to step up, you look at Adrian Peterson, everyone says the confident years he's had. Their team, I don't think is going to make it out, might not make it out of the first round. I don't think it's going to be a tough game in Green Bay. So I think when you look at the year Peyton Manning has had after coming back from the neck surgery, just everything that's happened, but the way he's been able to step up and get the job done as Peyton Manning and lead that team, kudos to him, and I think the Broncos are the favorite to head to New Orleans. We'll see if that happens. Finally, a bottom seed will make it into the Super Bowl, which means 4 through 6. False. I don't think that's going to happen. There's dominant teams like the Broncos. I think I'm going to be giving you my playoff predictions tomorrow. I already have them wrote out. I did them yesterday. I personally don't see a bottom seed making it out of the. I don't see it in the Super Bowl. I think when you look at the Broncos and you look at the Patriots, then we're going to be two contending teams. And you look at the other side of things, when you got the Falcons and you got the. I think the Seahawks are going to be a wild. I think they are a wild card. Or they win? No, they didn't win their division. But I think they are still going to be a team you have to look out for. And I think you're going to have to look out for them tomorrow or this week and every week. But I think Seattle's the wild card. And if they could, that could be the one team that could possibly be one of the teams to be in the Super Bowl. They don't have a game at home. That's what's going to hurt them. But I do not think a lower seed will make it into the playoffs or into the Super Bowl. Every week I have a question and put it on Facebook, Twitter, and our website. We want you, the people's feedback, and we will read them the following Friday. You can email them as well as Yackin Wit Yoni at yahoo.com. That is Yackin Wit Yoni's question of the week. This week's question of the week is, what is your New Year's resolution? I've got no responses. If I don't get any by tomorrow, I'll give you my response. I'll give you mine, and then we'll have our new question. Of course, we'll have that all tomorrow. That was a new edition of True or False, by the way. As you kind of figured, starting next week, we'll be back on track. We'll have 5 weeks, 5 days. If we don't squeeze all this on one day, they'll be back on their normal days. True or False on Tuesday, Think and Share on Wednesday, me venting on Thursday, and just all that kind of stuff. But speaking of venting, it is the middle of the week, and that's always a sign of me having something to say. So, that's what's in it today. I'm going to be venting a little bit about Lovie Smith. I didn't talk about this yesterday. Of course, Lovie Smith fired by the Bears. So I'm going to talk a little bit about it. I didn't want to address it because I wanted to address it in this. This is my newest edition of The Thinking Chair. My newest edition of The Thinking Chair, and today I'm going to talk about Lovie Smith being fired from the Chicago Bears. Now, I didn't talk about this on yesterday's show. I wanted to pretty much air it out today. You hear mixed emotions by all this. People say, oh no, Lovie's gone. And I say, like most other people, good riddance. Let's see what he's done. I mean, he's been here, what? I think I heard 12 years, but I don't think that's right. He's been here for a pretty long time. But you go to the playoffs twice in his span. They did make it to the Super Bowl's first time, making the NFC Championship a second time. That's all fun and dandy. The fact of the matter is he never got to hoist the Lombardi Trophy. That's the problem with this. You never won a championship. Chicago fans will let you rebuild in that, but when you had teams so close, but yet can't get the job done, that is completely unacceptable, and that's why this team struggled. When you look, I mean, you can hear the people say, I can understand why people are upset. He is a good coach. He was a good guy. His heart was in it, but the thing is, and the reason for true Bear fans, the passion. He did not show passion on the sideline. He didn't look like he pumped up anyone. He was just there. Like my dad always said, he looked like a cardboard statue. That is not what you want as a head coach. You want someone out there pumping your team up, just let everything loose and lay it on there. Not saying in every press conference, well, we tried. No, it ain't well we tried. You tried nothing. So you know what? You deserve to get fired. Wish you the best of luck. He was a good guy. I was disappointed when I first heard it because it was shocking, but the fact of the matter is, if he would have won that last game, he would have got into the playoffs, I think he wouldn't have got fired. It ain't his fault they didn't get in the playoffs, so technically, because the Packers lost. But when you start out 7-8-1 and don't get in the playoffs, something needs to be done. Will something else be done? Will Mike Tice be fired? I think they need to get something going. But I mean, the general manager not getting a chance to have his own head coach, I think this is the opportunity. I've heard rumors of Bill Cowher. I've heard rumors of John Gruden. But will either one of them be in there? I haven't heard anything. No one talks about it on TV, so that might be false. They're looking at offensive coordinators, whatever it is. I don't know, but best of luck in future endeavors for Lovie Smith. And now the Bears got to move on, looking at the Packers once again being in the playoffs. and the Bears sitting at home without a head coach. We'll see what happens. So good. I think it's a good move by the Bears. Time to restart, and I think hopefully next year. Definitely with that. Another side note. The Bears are the best team out there to win a championship out of the teams that need a new head coach. That should attract coaches. Hopefully that will. So hopefully the Bears have a new head coach. Well, they will have a new head coach next year. Hopefully it's a good guy. Hopefully it's someone that can get the job done, and we can roll with it and have an exciting year. I'm hoping John Gruden. He's awesome. I don't think he'll leave ESPN though. That is my newest edition of The Thinking Chair. He brings it better than ever as she dips into the entertainment and gives us some of the big stories going on. That's every Monday on Yackin Wit Yoni. Katie will be back in her corner on Monday. Should be exciting. She'll have a drama. She's a little hurt by her Steelers, but Bears are in the same boat, so she really isn't the only one to complain about. As you can see, our set changed a little bit around now. No more Bears. We got some Bulls. Possible hockey going to be coming in. But right now it's Bulls until baseball season, and then you see the Cup stuff will be up. Now it's time for Cage Talk. Talk about the UFC. Let's review what happened this past weekend. UFC 155. The results, I had Boach over Filipov, but Filipov defeats Boach in a TKO in round 3. Jim Miller defeated Joe Lozon. I had Joe Lozon winning by unanimous decision. He lost. And then finally, the heavyweight championship. Cain Velasquez defeated Junior Dos Santos and wins the title. He had it, lost it, and he's won it again. Possibly you'll see the third match between the third fight you would see between these guys. That was by unanimous decision. I had Dos Santos, so I go over 3 this weekend on the picks for the UFC. The next UFC event will be January the 19th from São Paulo, Brazil. Vitor Belfort versus Michael Bisping. That'll be the UFC on Fox. So that'll be a good show. Hope you guys can check it out. We'll have a Cage Talk next week, but probably some talk because we won't be previewing, we won't be giving you a prediction of that until a couple weeks. That is the newest edition of Cage Talk. If you want to be a guest analyst on Yackin Wit Yoni, either via phone or be in studio, just email me at yackinwityoni@yahoo.com or on Facebook, and we will work something out. Love to have people either in studio or on the phone. I don't mind doing it by myself, but I'd love to have people there to help me. It'd be awesome, so please do that. Now it's time for predictions! Last night I went 2-0. I had the Bulls over the Magic, Spurs over Bucks. I got both of them. No predictions today. We'll have them back tomorrow for the weekend. Speaking of tomorrow, let's preview tomorrow. We're going to preview NBA and NFL playoff weekend. It should be exciting, as well as New Yanni's Take, where I'm going to talk a little bit about Ray Lewis, who announced his retirement after the season. Talk about the stuff that I just found out today about what happened in 2000 with the whole murder thing. I'm going to address that tomorrow. And as well as I'll give you my playoff predictions from the wild card weekend this weekend all the way through the Super Bowl champion. I'm going to give you that tomorrow. And again, of course, will be from our Friday Man Cave, where pretty much we will be there pretty much throughout the rest of the through summer. I believe we'll have them about August, September is when we'll be back here. And when we'll be pretty much back in here. But we'll occasionally have shows here. I believe Tuesdays will be here. But mainly we'll be in the Friday Man Cave. So that's where we're going to mainly have it, but we'll still have a few shows. I think maybe once a week here, but not as much. So that is all coming up tomorrow. That is going to wrap it up for this January the 3rd edition of Yackin Wit Yoni. I'm Ryan Yanishada saying this is, and forever will be, one guy, one show, not